Okay, this is my Hapalopus species Colombia large female, who I'm hoping was successfully paired with Spookly, the male I got from Brandy. After 5 or 6 attempts, I've lost her. I'll have to double check my notes. I finally got them to show some interest, and what went on was a rather lengthy mating process where she kind of backed him up into the catch cup. Unfortunately, he wouldn't get out of the way of the catch cup when I put him down, and eventually ended in an awkward, what I hope was pairing. You'll see it on the video. Just to let you know, I've sped up the first part of it by ×4, just because it went on for a long, long time. So anybody that wants to skip around, skip to the middle of the video or so, you'll kind of get to see the meat of it. But it was a lot of just waiting while these guys kind of pawed at each other. Then, unfortunately, at the end of the video, you'll see they tumble down and they're off camera. This video will not contain the final part of it, because unfortunately Mr. Spookly did not make it out of the mating attempt. After what looked like wrestling her for insertion after they tumbled, she quickly grabbed onto him and we could not separate the two of them. She had already gotten him pretty good. So again, Brandy, sorry for that. I did try. There was 3 of us sitting there, but it was unfortunately as they mated, and she just bit down, and that was it. So I'm going to go ahead and allow the rest of the video to play, and then at the end of it, I'll come back here and we'll talk about what's going on with the female. There you go.
15-year-old fiddle with bra for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Alright, this should be where he sinks them in. All right, the follow-up for this video, I'm going to put notes in the beginning and everything, but basically what happened is when I went to drop the male into the enclosure with the female bolted out, so I couldn't get the catch cup out of the way in fear of messing up the mating process. So they started their courtship right outside the cup. The male's back leg was on it, and I couldn't get it out of the way without risking the whole thing. It was apparent pretty quick on that she was actually open to mating, which was great because we've tried these. I think this was the 6th attempt I've done with this male and my 2 females, and it finally took. And one of the things I've read about the mating process of Hapalopus species Colombia large is that they often wander the entire time. The male keeps backing up, the female keeps coming at him. It's different than some other species. So unfortunately what he did was backed himself right up into that cup. So the entire process took, I believe, about an hour and 5 minutes or so. Unfortunately, as you see at the end of the video, right as he was starting to insert, they slipped and fell. Now, what happened was I put the camera down there, and my wife and son and I, who had been watching the whole process, tried to break it up after we noticed that she was going for him. At first, it did look like he got an insertion, and the follow-up here is, since then, my female has moved from her normal burrow and dug out a little hole here, and she's been hanging out in this area and has webbed it up a bit. So this is new behavior for her. So I'm hoping that the behavior is indicating that she at least feels like she was bred. We'll see how it goes. I believe it can take anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks for the sac. I've read various accounts. One, it was like 3.5 weeks the guy had a sac. Another one, it was closer to a month and a half, but I'll be keeping an eye on her, and I'll be keeping the substrate in here moist, but not too wet because I don't want to ruin the sac and drown it. So in a minute, I'll be pulling her out and adding some moisture in here, but this is a good sign because she's been hanging out in this little spot she's dug out since a couple days ago, and looks, definitely different behavior from what she was doing before. So let's just hope, fingers crossed, that this was a successful pairing and that we'll have some little eggs with legs coming up in a month or so.